My name is Aaliyah Perry. I own Farm and Flourish. It's an olive grocery store and coffee house. I started Farm and Flourish because, one, farming is hard, and not hard in the sense that like it's a lot of work, which it totally is, but it was hard to sell my stuff to people. And also going to the farmers markets is a lot of work. And so trying to find a place for all of us farmers to aggregate all of our stuff in one place that people know that they can find good quality stuff that's actually local stuff. There's other places around that, they have a local thing here and a local thing there, but that's not their main focus. Their main focus is not actually local farms, actually local food. Humans just need local food, good, healthy local food. So how I learned for enterprise for equity, I think it was just a multitude of things, right? There was people in the local community. I think I'd probably seen it online. I looked up business schools at some point, trying to find something that was also affordable, that I didn't have to go to a 4-year university or something like that, because I was never gonna do that. I think the benefits of going through the program were that even though I knew a lot about business and I had done business previously, was kind of a little bit going over some of the fundamentals that I already knew, but learning little tips and tidbits all over the place. I have benefited a ton from just knowing other E4E grads, right? Just first saying, hey, I graduated from Enterprise for Equity, people being like, oh my gosh, so did I. And then you immediately have that connection. And there's way more people out there than I thought who graduated from E4E, even here in Lewis County.
My name is Jay Ryan, and I sell regional, seasonal, and natural grains at Grist. Oh, I was totally at a 9-to-5 job position, wearing a tie, having an office, and just knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And so I really can't recall how I heard about Enterprise for Equity. It's been a long time. But I knew it was something that would help me out and get sort of the business mind together. And so that's exactly what I did. I attended the class and did what I could, and worked real hard and tried to fulfill all the requirements of the class, and which, of course, made a better plan. I totally wanted to build a commissary kitchen. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to build a kitchen that was designed in a way where it could have stations, basically, and have multiple businesses renting space in the kitchen. And then I ran across a very local to me project that was going on, the Northwest Sports Hub. And I ran into that, and a friend of mine took me to the parking lot, and the building wasn't even complete yet, and says, look at this thing. And I said, wow. And that was in Forest Park, right in my backyard. Then 10 years ensued with Hub City Grub. Yeah, 2014, I opened that. So yeah, sold the restaurant there at the Sports Hub, and then took a couple years off. And then, I shoved a stone mill, a brand new Vermont-made stone mill, through the front door of my business, my wife's business actually. I've been making flour ever since. Yeah, I've been getting in grains from Chehalis. Matter of fact, probably 65-70% of the grains that wheat that I've milled for flour have come from my backyard. Many pulses are grown in Washington State. We're huge producers of lentils and beans and garbanzo beans and black beans and black-eyed peas and all kinds of mung beans. We grow all kinds of really nice pulses. And then in my really local area, working with places like Farm and Flourish and the Hub City Honey people, they're really fun to work with, and I try to incorporate that into things I'm making. Just in general, my product line that I carry is so much organically grown, Washington State grown. Your normal grocery store is not going to provide you or give you access to such things like organically grown and Washington State grown stuff. The only way that I see as practical to save the world, because supporting organic, local food, that's the only way I know.
Shona Smith, Shona's Food Company, and I do British meat pies, pastries, and seasonal local food with local farmers. So I started the Enterprise for Equity program 12 years ago. I was a stay-at-home mom. A friend of mine had recently taken the program to start her own concrete business, and she had seen me at a dinner party and suggested that I have my own business, and she just completed the program and she was like, you have to start this program. I had a child in high school, so I was very survival mode. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to educate myself. I wanted to go to culinary school. There were so many things that I wanted, but when I had a child, kind of put all of that on hold. And then I also didn't have the money to go to culinary school. College to me seemed out of my reach, out of my grasp. And so when the idea of this program came along, and then I came in and I talked to Beth, and it was just like, wow, this is a very serious college business program that could give me the tools that I'm lacking. So I started Shona's Food Company in 2020 during the middle of COVID. I was laid off, and I decided that with the knowledge and the tools that I had received from Enterprise for Equity and essentially the checks from COVID, it was the first time I had ever had money to save up. I had saved up all those checks, and I was completely obsessed because I couldn't go to work each day with staying busy, and I just started making meat pies every single day. In the middle of all that, I was offered the space, my cafe, and because I had saved up the money, and because I had gone down this deep dive into these meat pies, I thought, here's such an incredible way to let people travel through food while everybody's stuck in their house. And the owners of the building were very kind in allowing the first 2 months I came in, no rent. They just really, truly wanted to see me get on my feet. And so it was kind of like the stars aligned, and I had been collecting all those tools in my belt and finally had the means to really have a brick and mortar cafe.
My name is Raven Morningstar, and I am the owner and operator of Embark Confections, a cottage food business that sells whimsical, magic-inspired desserts and confections made from my home and made with my heart. So I have always loved baking. My grandma taught me how to bake. That's one of my earliest memories, is baking with my grandmother back in Chicago when I was really little. And it's something that I've carried with me through life. And so I have been working in the food industry on and off for the last few years. And during some time away from my food industry job, I had this sense of, I want to be making food, but I want art to be a part of that, and I want to be doing it for myself. I come into this as a creative, as an artist, and as someone with no business know-how or knowledge, and I knew that I needed that if this was going to be anything that would be successful in the long term. And I was actually here in this very cafe talking to Shona one day, and she asked me if I knew what Enterprise for Equity was, and she had said that it had helped her immensely. And then I think within a few months of having that conversation, I had pretty much the exact same conversation with Leah, and she was even more eager to get me to be a part of the program because she was in it when she told me that I should join. And those two things plus the timing of it all just felt really right and like the next step that I needed to take. And the way that you guys have maintain connection with me even beyond graduating from the program is huge. I wasn't even expecting that when I joined, and it's been so lovely. And then from there, getting to work on actively building community with other graduates that I live around is amazing. And I love being able to talk to Leah and Shona and Jay regularly about what we're doing and how we can help and serve and lift each other up.
I would tell somebody who is even thinking about starting a business or even has a business and wants to go through the program that it will enrich your business life, I think is a good way of saying it. I think that that's what it did for me, and it allowed me to take my business skills from, a 10 to a 20, where 10 was fine, right? I was able to run my business, do what I needed to do, but I was able to get so much more, not only just by the course, but also by engaging within the community as well. And I think that is where, honestly, some of the biggest gains for me have been, is the E4E community outside of the business courses.
So if I hadn't found Enterprise for Equity, I would be infinitely more stressed out, infinitely less confident in what I do, and I would feel really alone. And I would feel like people didn't believe in me. And Enterprise for Equity has given me all of those things. It's given me a foundation to feel like I can do this. Like I'm not going to make some huge mistake that's going to take it all down within 6 months or a year. And that means so much.
Enterprise for Equity gave me confidence, and I cannot say that enough. I took every weekend class. You guys provided the most incredible classes for confidence, and that's such a huge piece of the puzzle. As a business owner, you have got to be confident in what you're doing, and that is very difficult when you're working with the public and people are judgmental, and you can see all the comments, and people can rate you and take your rate down. It's like, oh my gosh. So going into a program that instilled education and then classes to help build confidence, it was absolutely life-changing for me.